A very good morning to my dear students. Once again welcome back to 8th grade English class. Today we are actually planning to move with your workbook. We had already completed the exercises from the first 3 chapters, and we had finished writing all those exercises, and you people already had submitted all those exercises to me. So, in that way we had finished the first 3 chapters in your workbook. So, now today we are actually planning to go with the 4th chapter, I mean the exercises in the 4th chapter in the workbook. Okay. So, for that all of you please take page number 42 in your workbook, 42, passion for sports. And here we have some grammatical items to be completed, and all those grammatical items included under this chapter are the things which we discussed and which we done while we took the 4th chapter from your course book. Okay, I don't know whether you remember it or not. While we were doing the exercise parts under the second section in 4th unit about Leander Pace. Yeah, we discussed about past perfect continuous. We discussed about past perfect continuous, then future simple. Okay. In page number 95 and page number 97 respectively in your course book. So, at that time we discussed past perfect continuous and future simple, and at that time we were so familiar, we became so familiar with those exercises, I mean the use of past perfect continuous and future simple. At that time we discussed in a very detailed manner in what all occasions we used those tenses in our daily life or in our daily usages. Okay. Anyway, today we are actually planning to go with the exercises that included in your workbook, and these exercises are only given with a view to enhance your understanding regarding past perfect continuous and future simple. Okay, anyway, all of you please take page number 42. So, before going to start with the exercises given in page number 43, let me to have once again let me to remind you of the same thing, past perfect continuous and past continuous. Okay, past perfect continuous and past continuous. Okay. So, before going to discuss past perfect continuous and past continuous, we have to know about its structure. Normally, had subject plus had plus been plus main verb plus ing. Okay, this is actually the structure of past perfect continuous. Then past continuous, subject, auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb means past form of auxiliary verbs plus main verb plus ing. Okay. Anyway, now we can discuss where we have to use past perfect continuous and past continuous. So, for that, in order to explain that element, we all explained it in that particular class. Anyway, we can do it once more, because in order to familiarize with not too familiar with the topic. Okay. Anyway, in what all occasions we have to use past perfect continuous and past continuous. Okay. For that we can actually take one example from your course, from your workbook. All of you please take page number 42. 42. There look at the last examples given there. When Hima looked out of the window, it had been raining. When Hima looked out of the window, it had been raining. And on the other side, when Hima looked out of the window, it was raining. Hima looked out of the window, it was raining. Okay. So, in that way we can actually differentiate between past perfect continuous and past continuous. So, we can first of all we can underline the past perfect continuous, it had been raining, then past continuous, it was raining. Then we can cross check it with the structure. See, subject, it, had, then been, then main verb, rain, ing form, raining. So, it is right. Then cross check it with past continuous, the structure of past continuous, subject, it, auxiliary verb, past form of the auxiliary verb. So, was, then main verb, rain, ing, raining. Okay. Anyway, now please come back to our discussion, our topic of discussion, past perfect continuous. Okay. When Hima, no need of putting this comma here, when Hima looked out of the window, yeah, it had been, there we need a comma, it had been raining. That means, yeah, when Hima looked out of the window, the time when Hima looked out of the window, there was no raining at all. But when Hima looked out of the window, it had been raining. That means, when Hima looked out of the window, it was not raining. The time when Hima looked out of the window, there was no raining at all. But she came to know that there was rain possibly before a few hours or a few hours ago. Okay. That means, when he looked out of the window, there was no raining there was no rain, but the rain had stopped when he looked out of the window. Okay. So, in order to speak about a thing which happened, which began at some point of time in the past and it was continuously happening from one point of time to the other point of time in the past. Okay, did you get me? Yeah. So, past perfect continuous is used in order to speak about an action that began at a particular point of time and continued up to that time in the past. That means, it began at a particular point in the past and it ended at a particular point in the past. Both these points were happened in the past. It began at a particular point in the past and it ended at a particular point in the past, and it was actually a continuous action from that time to this time. Okay. So, such actions can better be explained or expressed with the use of present perfect continuous. I hope that you got the idea. Now we can come back to the second one, past continuous. See, the same sentence is expressed using past continuous. When Hima looked out of the window, it was raining. Yeah, that means when the time when Hima looked out of the window, yeah, it was raining. At that time, the action was continuously happening. So, in order to speak about an action that was continuously happening at a particular point of time, we can use past continuous. So, here past perfect continuous was actually a continuous action, but that continuous action began at a particular point of time and ended at a particular point of time in the past. Okay, that means a completed action. But here past continuous is used to speak about, yeah, a particular continuous action that was happening or that was continually happening in a past period. Okay, so when Hima looked out of the window, the action was happening. So, in that way we can differentiate between past continuous and past perfect continuous. Now, I hope that you got an idea. So, now we can actually move on with doing the examples. Are you ready? Okay, then we can go ahead. Okay. Okay, now all of you please take page number 43. In a robbery investigation, the police asked some usual suspects what they had been doing at 10 p.m. the previous night. This is what the suspects told the police. So, their names, what they said. So, the first one has been done for you. Hitesh said he had been having his supper. So, he had been having his supper is actually written in past perfect continuous. Then what would be the next example? Vadivelu. Yeah, Vadivelu said, what he said to the police? Said that, yeah, watching TV. Watching TV is actually the main verb or ing form of the verb. So, when it is being converted to past perfect continuous, Vadivelu said that, yeah, he had been watching TV. He had been watching TV. Okay. So, in that way Kankan said that he had been making dinner. So, in that way you have to complete the other sentences also. Then turn over the page and take the next page. Fill in the blanks with the past perfect continuous or the past continuous form of the verbs given in the brackets. The first one has been done for you. Vinesh was resting on the bench. Vinesh was resting on the bench. Then she had been wrestling for several minutes. So, presently, when the person or when the speaker was looking at whom? When the speaker was looking at the, okay, anyway, I think it is better to write it on the board so that it can be better explained, giving much explanation to you. Okay, listen. Vinesh was resting on the bench she had been is the right answer. She had been wrestling for several minutes. Okay, listen. Was resting. Vinesh was resting is actually past continuous, and she had been wrestling for several minutes is actually past perfect continuous. Now, look at the example. As the speaker is saying that when the speaker looked at Vinesh, Vinesh was resting. That means when the speaker, the one who uttered this sentence or one who uttered this statement, when that speaker was actually looking at Vinesh, he was doing what? He was continuously doing something. Yeah, he was resting. So that can only explained or expressed with past continuous. And in what is actually the cause for that, or what is actually the reason for his rest, or what is actually the reason for his resting on the bench? Yeah, it might be because she had been wrestling for several minutes, and this action had started at a particular point of time in the past, and it had been continuously happening, and it had finished at another point in past, and as a result now she was resting on the bench. So this is actually a continuous action that happened at a time when the speaker was looking at Vinesh, and this was actually, so that is what it was being expressed with past continuous, and this was actually something that had started at a particular point of time and finished at a particular point of time in the past. In that sense, it was also a continuous action, and it can only be better explained or expressed with past perfect continuous. Okay. So likewise, we can look at the next examples and find out which will be the suitable ones. Before he returned to India, Chelladurai dash in a software company in the USA. Yeah, before he returned to India. So now he actually returned to India, and before, yeah, before that time he had been working, because that particular action happened at a particular point of time or began at a particular point of time and ended at a particular point of time in the past. So it can only be expressed with past continuous, past perfect continuous. So Chelladurai had been working. Then look at the next example. Uma was standing on a stool in the library. So Uma was actually standing on a stool in the library, and what might be the cause for her standing on the stool? Yeah, she was searching for a biography. At that time, what happens? At that time, a particular action was happening, and that action was actually, she was searching for a biography. She was searching because that action was continuously happening. It had not stopped. That is the point. It had not stopped. It was continuously happening. That can only be expressed with what? Past continuous. So she was searching for a biography is the better option. Best is the correct option. Okay. So in that way, you have to complete the following sentences, and then you have to take a photograph and then you have to send it to me. Okay. So in short, what you actually learned from this, yeah, we can sum up the point that past perfect So we can sum up the point that past perfect continuous is used to speak about an action that began at a particular point of time and continued up to another continued and finished. Okay, that would be the correct one. Continued and finished up to another point in the past. That means it is stopped. It is stopped. The action is not happening right now. Action is okay, in the past. And just opposite to it, past continuous. Okay, when we say about past continuous, an action that was happening. Okay, so past continuous means an action that was happening, that was happening and not completed as such at the time of mentioning it. Okay, so the main difference between past continuous and past perfect continuous is, past perfect continuous is actually it began at some point of time and continued and ended at another point of time. So the action was completed. But past continuous is actually continuous. It had not stopped. So that is actually the main difference between past continuous and past perfect continuous. That is what in the beginning example we discussed, that when Hima looked out of the window, it was raining. It had not completed, it was still happening. And when Hima looked out of the window, it had been raining. That means, it had completed. It was not raining when he looked out of the window. So in that way, we can simply differentiate between past perfect continuous and past continuous. Okay, so I hope that you would be able to complete the rest of the sentences. Anyway, now we are actually moving with page number 44, future simple. Future simple. So when we took future simple, we had already said that will and shall, they are actually used in order to speak about something that happens in the future, and will is actually the will and shall is actually the future simple form, and the negative form of will is actually will not, and we used to write it as won't. Then shall, the negative form of shall is shall not, and we used to write it as shan't. So these are the things you have to learn before getting started with this topic. Okay, so this will and shall are the things which we use to express a future symbol, and will not is the negative form of will, and shall not is the negative form of shall, and it is expressed as won't and it is expressed as shan't. And more than that, you have to remember one more thing which we learned in the class where we discussed it, that what it is actually mentioned there. We do take page number 45. We do not use shall with he, she, it, you, they. He, she, it, you, they. Okay, and with these pronouns or with these subjects, we do not use shall, but we need to use shall if it is a question. Shall I take something, or shall we do something? So there we can use shall, but normally shall we do not use shall with he, she, it, you, they. So these are the primary things you have to know or you have to be familiar with while before getting started with this topic. Okay, anyway, and future symbol, and you have to know one more thing, that present continuous and simple present sometimes take the form of future symbol. For example, imagine that I am saying that after finishing this class, I am going to take another session for 7th standard. I am going to take another session for 7th standard. I am going to take is actually which tense? Present continuous. But when I say after this session, I am going to take another session for 7th, that action is not yet come. It is going to happen. That means it refers to future. So, even though I expressed that particular sentence in present continuous, there it has the meaning of future tense. See, and look at the other example. The flight leaves. Imagine that we are actually we imagine that we went to the airport to send somebody to somewhere else. At that time we are saying that the flight leaves at, her or his flight leaves at a particular time. So, that also, what does it mean? The action is not yet happened, it is going to happen. But even though it is going to happen, we used to say, or we normally say that the flight leaves at. The flight leaves at is actually simple present tense. But even though it is simple present, there it takes a future meaning. So, that is what you have to remember, you have to note under this topic, as sometimes present continuous and simple present may take the meaning of future, or sometimes present continuous and simple present can be used in a future sense also. Okay, that we can discuss right now. So, all these things are written in page number 45. You have to go through it, and you have to be familiar with all the things written here. And if while reading all these things, if you felt any unclarified area, you can call me or you can ask me. Okay, and you have there is one more thing is written there, and going to has another meaning. Going to has another meaning. Going to has another meaning. What is the another meaning of going to? Yeah, likely to happen. That means there is a possibility. So, if there is a possibility to happen something, we can use going to. Yeah, I think that it's going to rain. It's going to rain. That means it is likely, the rain is likely to happen. So, in that way also going to can be used. Anyway, now turn over the page and take page number 46. There you will have another exercise. Sania wants you to have lunch with her, but you are very busy. Look at your diary for the next few days and explain to her why you can't come. The first one has been done for you. So, first of all you have to look at the timetable of Sania, and then you have to complete the conversation. Sania, can you come on Monday? You, sorry, I would love to. Yeah, I'm interested to come, but I am playing badminton. That means I am playing badminton means, yeah, I am playing badminton. Can you come on Monday? I am playing badminton. That means I am playing badminton is used. I am playing badminton is actually present continuous, and that present continuous is used in a future sense, because she said that she wanted to play badminton on Monday. So, she won't be able to come on Monday. Okay. Then look at the next one. What about Tuesday then? I can't. I am afraid. I am watching a movie with my mother. I am watching a movie. I am watching a movie with my mother is exactly present continuous, but here it is used in a future sense. I am watching a movie with my mother. That means he will be, she will be watching. She will be watching. There, even though present continuous is used, it has got a future connotation. Okay, so in that way you have to complete the rest portion of the conversation. Okay, then look at the next one. Fill in the blanks in these dialogues using will or the going to form of the verbs given in the brackets. You can here also there is a conversation given here, and either you can use the will form, the future form, or you can use the going to form. Even though you use going to or you use will, both having the same sense, means both are referring to something which is going to happen or which is not yet happened, which is not yet completed. Okay, so in that way either you can use will or you can use going to. Okay, look at the first one. Why are you dressing up? Why are you changing your dress? I am going to attend a wedding reception. I am going to attend. There, I will attend a wedding reception will not be the suitable one. There, I am going to attend. That means, yeah, he will be going for a wedding reception. That is what he is actually dressing up. He is actually changing the dress. So, I am going to attend is actually the suitable option. Then, oh, I can't buy this book. I haven't got any money. Don't worry, I will lend you some. I will lend. The person says that I don't have enough money with me to buy this book. Then the other person says that no problem, don't worry, I will lend, I will give. There, will. That action is also referring to a future thing. It is not yet completed or it is not yet happened. It is going to happen. So, similarly, in such a way you can fill the entire conversation either using going to form or using will form. Then we can do one more thing. Come on, hurry up, make up your mind. Arthur, okay, then dash. We dash biryani. Yeah, we are going to have biryani. Then what about the next? Asma, why are you filling the kettle with water? Habib, I am going to make some tea. Then look at the fifth one. Father, we need some bread and eggs. Alright, Papa, I am going to the supermarket. Will it be the right one? No, there I will go to the supermarket will be the right one. So, in that way you can either use will or you can either use going to form in order to complete the entire conversation. So, now we can just move to the next one, 48, page number 48. There, substitute a 5-letter word of similar meaning for each of the words in italics and write out the sentence. Okay, so look at the examples given there. We should not squander our money. Squander means waste. We should not waste our money. So, the first sentence is in the first sentence squander is used, and in the other sentence the synonym for squander, waste, is used. So, see, in that way 5 sentences are given. So, you have to rewrite the sentence using the synonym of the italicized word. So, coerce is actually the italicized word in the first sentence, stop is actually the italicized word in the second sentence. So, in that way, you have to rewrite the sentence using a synonym of the italicized word. So, the what will be the first one? The material is very coarse. Coarse means rough. It is not suitable for making a dress. So, you can write that the material is very rough. It isn't suitable for making a dress. What about the second? The enemy will stop fighting after sunset. What is the synonym for stop? Cease. C-E-A-S-E. So, the enemy will cease fighting after sunset. So, the largest clock is circular in shape. What is the synonym for circular? Round. The largest clock is round in shape. So, similar in that way you can complete the rest of the sentences. Then what about the puzzle? So, you will have a puzzle game. It can be completed by yourself. Okay. Anyway, first one I will help you in the first one. Duties dash asked her to run 5 kilometers every day. Duty is actually the name of a person. Duties coach Duties coach asked her to run 5 kilometers every day. So, you can write coach here, from here to there, COACH. In that way you will get. Then Murray was almost dashed in an accident. Murray was almost killed is actually the suitable one. Then you can write, yeah, KILLED, killed. And you have 2 clues down. The 8th and the 6th clues are downward. Okay, what is the 8th one? Not 6th one is not there, only 8th one, clues down. Okay, clue down. Okay, would you like to take part in the next dash games? Olympic games is the right option. So, you can write OLYMPIC, Olympic. So, then the one will be suitable to that of the next option. What was the one? Coach, CO, then we can start with O, Olympic. So, in that way you can complete the puzzle. Then next one, fill in the blank. So, column A is actually some words are given, and in column B their meaning, their definitions are given. So, you can match it with the right option. Look at the first one, stadium. Stadium, we all know that the 1, 2, 3, fourth one from column B is the right option. Stadium is an enclosed area for athletic games and contests. So, in that way you can complete the rest of the words with their definitions in column B. Then you will have a writing then you will have a paragraph. You can read the paragraph and you have to answer the questions that follow after the paragraph. What is the first question? When did the Europeans start thinking that mountains are beautiful? Yeah, after reading the paragraph you will be able to answer it. Anyway, when did the Europeans start thinking that mountains are beautiful? The Europeans started thinking that mountains are beautiful in the 18th century. So, similarly you can write. Then what about the next one? Why were people living in the plains afraid of the mountains? Yeah, they were wild. The mountains were wild, dangerous places where people were lost or were killed by wild animals. So, they thought that the mountains were a place, a very dangerous place where people were lost their lives, at the same time they were killed by wild animals. Okay, so in that way you can complete the rest of the questions by reading the entire passage. Then the last one is actually take page number 52. There is a biographical sketch of a popular author and some hints are given. So, using those hints we can complete a brief biographical sketch of that particular author. Okay, so these are actually all the exercises included in under the 4th chapter in your workbook. So, I hope that you got an idea about past perfect continuous, past continuous, and you got a clear idea about the difference between past perfect continuous and past continuous. Then the usages of future symbol, then where we have to use will and shall, which pronouns we have to use shall and which pronouns which we have to use will. Then what is the negative form of which will and shall. Then present continuous and simple present can be used in a future sense, all those things. So, I hope that you got a clear idea about all these things. Anyway, it is actually more than half an hour. So, I think it's the time to wind up. Anyway, thank you and have a nice day. Okay.